All right, guys, here we are for skills. Yes, unit 2. We're going to start with our warm-up with pop-out chaining. That's when we used to, instead of being one long chain, it's a bunch of little short ones where it's like boom, 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 boom. Still the same chaining rules apply. We're only changing one sound as we go from one word to the next. And then because the type of chaining is, we'll start over and we'll go from one word to the next and repeat and repeat. All right, so let's go ahead and do a couple little short chains together. And then I have new tricky words. So you do need your dictionary today and your highlighter. Pending you have one. If not, you'll need a pencil because the other option will be to underline or circle the word so you can find it later. But a highlighter is best. A highlighter is best. I just came up with a better backup plan. You know what a good backup plan for a highlighter is? I will show you. A yellow crayon. It has to be yellow if you're going to use it, and it has to be crayon because anything else is going to mess you up later. So yeah, like I said, you need a highlighter, backup plan, yellow crayon. Plan Z, a pencil. So we can add new tricky words. But before we get into the tricky words, let's do a couple of chains to get us warmed up and into our sounds for the day. All right, so we're going to start with, now I will give you a little background on it. Every single one of these is not a real word. A couple of these will be nonsense words, and that's okay. We're practicing with the skill we've been working on, and that's using these split digraphs to spell what's called long vowel sounds. Okay, so the first word is hap. App. Hap. App. Hap. All right, to go from hap to hape, I'm changing the vowel sound. Good, I'm changing just one sound from hap to hape. And I will change it in terms of spelling by adding an E to the end of the word. Okay, so the next one I have slip. Slip. We're starting with slip. 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 All right. I want to do it again. This time, still making one change. We're going from slip to slipe. Slip to slipe. What change did I make? I changed the vowel sound from I to I. In terms of spelling, I'm keeping all these same letters, but at the end, I will add an E because this E is part of the digraph with the I. Those are letter names, by the way. Slip to slipe, okay? So another one, tip. 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 Tip to type. I to I. Still dealing in this vowel sound. I starts with the same spelling, but I need to add the E to complete this digraph. This IE digraph. Okay? Hom. 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 Sorry, hom. I'm going to go from hom to home. I want to go home. What change did I make? I changed the vowel sound from ah to o. In terms of spelling, I keep all of the present letters and I add the E to complete this digraph, this vowel digraph. 2 letters, 1 sound. Hom to home. Let's do 2 more. Shan. Shan. Right, so Shan has the beginning digraph, sh, and I'll go from Shan to Shane. Shan to Shane. I'm changing the vowel sound. I keep all my present letters, and I add the E to the end to create the other diagram. So we have a consonant diagram where the letters are touching. Then we have a vowel diagram where they are split apart. Shane. All right, last one. Lap. Lap. Pull up. Lap. I want to go from lap to lape. Lap to lape. What change did I make? The vowel sound. Excellent. Yes. And we're going to spell that L-A-P-E. Split diagram is how we will produce the A sound. The sound A. All right. So now that we're all warmed up, let's go and add those tricky words to our dictionaries. Come on. Yes, so those dictionaries, yes, and we have our highlighter or yellow crayon. I'm actually going to model for you because we do have 2 words. I'm going to show you with one of them what it does look like using the yellow crayon just so you get a feel for it in case you do not have a highlighter or if yours dried out. So our new words today are by and my. Let's look at them individually. So the first word is by. So b-I. Well, the whole word's not tricky because B, the letter B, is playing by the rules. It makes the b sound. It's this letter Y that's going to be our heart part, which because it's making the sound I. So b-I. So because it's a tricky word, instead of sounding it out, we spell it with letter names. B-Y. And then the word my. The word my. I, my. Same setup here. All right, so looking at these 2 words, which one should be earlier in the dictionary? By, because B is right after A. So we're going to start, all right, fresh at the beginning. We see A, we turn the page to B, and we're looking for the word by. So starting at the top, B-A, B-A-B-E. Keep going, keep going. B-I, B-L, B-O. We're at B-O now. B-R. We're getting closer. B-U. Oh, there it is. B-Y as in made by done. So you'll take your highlighter and you'll pass over it with one swipe. All right, we have now added by to our dictionary, and like I said, I'm going to use my crayon to show you what that looks like as we search for the word my. The word my. All right, we're going to skip a few pages because by is really close to the beginning and my is about at the middle. So let's just kind of fast turn through a couple pages. Now let's slow down a little bit. We're at H. We're at H. I, J, K, L. Are we getting close? We are getting close. All right, good. M starts in the middle of this page. So let's go. M-A. Let's go to the top of the next column. M-E. Remember, we're looking for M-Y, my. All right, M-I. M-O. Oh, Mom, that's a good one. I should put a heart next to that one. We're still in the M-O. Seems like a big section. M-U. Must be close. Oh, well, here's M-Y, but it's myself. So is the word my in our dictionary? No, so we're going to need to get a pencil. Good thing we got that. We grabbed that earlier. We're going to write it right here. M-Y, my. And we're going to take our crayon and we're going to pass over it 1, 2, 3 times. We're just going in the 4, 5, 6. Yeah, as many times as you need to cover the word. Only thing is keep going in the same direction and try not to, like, don't just go back and forth. Just go and lift and go. I'm not actually coloring anymore. I'm pretending to color. See, not actually coloring, pretending. We're going to pass over the word 1 time, and that way it is now highlighted through the magic of crayon. All right, so those are our 2 new tricky words, and we're going to put our dictionary away. But before we go, I do want to look at some old tricky words. You can tell by the color of these cards that these are from Unit 1. I switched the colors. You can see that we switched the units. I'm thinking about that kind of stuff. All right, so let's look at these words. These are old words. No, so, and some. Well, we just learned a new rule to tell us about the sound O. We learned a new rule that tells us about the sound O. So and no both use the sound O. But is this the correct spelling or the spelling we've learned? So these words remain tricky. Those words remain tricky. And the word some, well, some has that O E, but is it operating as a split digraph in this word? Is it ohm? Is this sohm? It's still making a sound. So that means that this word is still tricky, and it is not, in fact, a split digraph. Maybe by the end of the year, we'll be able to take this word off of our tricky word wall, but as of right now, some, no, and so remain tricky. And today we had the pleasure of adding by and my to our tricky word list in our spelling dictionary. And just a quick note, you don't have to only use this for tricky words. If you notice, there are so many words in here that are not highlighted. And some of them, quite a few of them, aren't tricky at all. Like, look what I just turned to. This word is keep. 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 That's not tricky. We know all those sound spelling rules. But it's an excellent tool in order for you to sound out and spell different new words, or just or even familiar words that you might not know how to spell in your writing. But that's all I have to say about tricky words. So let's keep going with our lesson. Come on. All right, so the work you did with your tricky words, top notch. You're going to read a story today, but before I even tell you which story you're reading, I want to preview some of the words that will be found in this story, because they include O spelled O-E, they include I spelled I-E, and they include the sound A spelled A-E. All right, so I'm going to read the word to you, and then you indicate to me what vowel sound you hear. Then the word will appear for us to see the spelling. The first word I'm going to show you is broke. What vowel sound do you hear in broke? Oh, excellent. Broke is that split O-E digraph. Good job. The second word I have for you, time. Time. What vowel sound do we hear in time? I. Another, again, yes, they're all split digraphs, split vowel digraphs. 2 vowels split apart. 1 sound. Silent magic E is in effect. So broke time. I don't like that. Broke time. Wait a minute. Nobody got time for that. The next word I have for you is tape. Tape. What vowel sound do you hear in tape? A. You hear A. All right, let's keep going. The next one, like. Like. What vowel sound do you hear in like? I. Excellent. All right. What vowel sound do you hear in gaze? Gaze. What vowel sound do you hear in the word gaze? A. We hear A in gaze. All right. Next we have close. Close. What vowel sound do you hear in the word close? Oh, excellent. All right, just a few more. What vowel sound do you hear in the word grapes? Grapes. A. You hear the sound A in grapes. Okay, and those. Oh, we've used this one recently. Those. What vowel sound do you hear in those? O. You hear O in those. Note the spellings. Note the spellings. See all these words. Well, of course, grapes doesn't, only because it's more than one. We'll talk about plural later. But we talked about this briefly during live last week, actually. So grape, one grape, see? Multiple grapes. Generally speaking, you don't just have one grape. But you'll notice they all end in E because these are all examples of words that apply the split digraphs to make new sounds. O, I, A, O, E, I, E, A, E. All right, the next word for you is pine. Pine. What vowel sound do we hear in the word pine? We hear the I sound in pine. Two more. The next word, stone. Stone. What vowel sound do you hear in the word stone? Oh, we hear O in stone. And the last one we have is stare. Stare. We hear the A sound just a little bit in stare. We'll learn about why that R is kind of tweaking a little bit later on in the school year, but for, yeah, makes the air. So all of these words, utilizing these split digraph spellings for the sounds O, I, and A, will appear in the story that you're going to read today. For the story, I will volunteer as partner A. Yes, I will be partner A. So you can hear me read it, and then you're going to read it. Or if you can't read it, you'll get somebody to help you. And if somebody can't help you, you'll go back to the first slide, and you'll hear me read it again. But you want to listen to the story at least 2 times before you answer any questions about it. And that story today will be called The Bug Glass. So you'll hear the story at least 2 times, and then you'll answer the questions. But you don't need to answer them in your book. They have been recreated and reproduced and regenerated in the assignment directly below this video. That's how you will submit your work to me. Because unfortunately, I can't see what's in your book. And you gotta turn something in. So click on the link below the video. It's gonna actually say 10.1, cat book, 10.1, the bug glass. It's gonna match what it says right here. Boop. All right, so when you're done with the bug glass, you have, let's see. Ooh, you're gonna sort some words. Yep, still doing that same thing we just did. I, E as in time, A, E as in cake, O, E as in bone. If you would like, you could do it in your book and then do it online, just so you can get that practice of writing them and spelling them and circling the vowel diagram. But in order to turn your work in, you have to submit what's provided on the computer. That's how I get it. So yes, you have a story and you have a sort to complete. And that concludes our skills lesson for the day. So I'll see you later.